Good evening, everyone. And today, by the way, my name is Dr. Peter Wishnie, and I'm about to give a great presentation. Let me get my slides on and share the screen with you. There you go. Okay, excellent. Okay, so the topic tonight is dog days of summer. As you could been told, I'm recording this. I had another thing to go to, so I apologize for that. But you could always ask me questions and send any questions to peter@toppractices.com. And I want to talk about dog days of summer and how to make your practice enjoyable in any environment. Excuse me. So I thought about this topic because it is August, and August in baseball, we call that the dog days of summer, because that's when people are tired and it's hot out there. It's sticky, it's muggy, we get lethargic, and we just sometimes lose the passion of waking up and going to work. I love the summer, but it's now the middle of August, and we are almost done. We're in the middle of the third quarter of the year, and you know, it's so easy to have that passion at the beginning of the year. And maybe if you're like me, in December and January, you set goals, and you know, after the first quarter, you're just like, okay, second quarter is kicking in, and you just get going. Now it's the end of the third quarter, and you just sometimes lose that passion. But when you lose that passion, your staff loses that passion as well, and everybody's coming in, you know, like, oh, I can't wait for my vacation. Oh, school's going to start soon. If you didn't take a vacation, you're tired, even more so. And sometimes the vacation is not even long enough. So how do you ignite the passion? And really everything, if you want everything to happen, it always starts with you. And that's the good and the bad of being a business owner, or of anything you want to do in your life. You have to ignite the passion inside you before you can do it. Ignite someone else's passion before you can say, how come Mary, the front desk, is not doing her job that well? She's not as passionate as she used to be. She's not excited as she used to be. Because, well, you know what? Check yourself at the door. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, how do I feel that day? So it starts with you. And every time that you might be losing that passion or that excitement of waking up in the morning, going to work, you need to revisit your why, your vision, and your purpose. Why do you like being a podiatrist? Why are you going back to work today? We have all that BS crap out there. Forget about that for a second. Why did you become a podiatrist? And what makes you feel really good during your day? Such as when your patients compliment you and say thank you for helping them. And you know what? Maybe not everyone does that, but some do. And that's what we need to focus on. We tend to focus on, if we see 100 patients in a day and 99 of them loved you and one didn't, we tend to focus on that one person who got pissed off. Focus on the 99 who you made happy today, because that's all you can do. You can't please everyone. So revisit your why, your vision, and your purpose. Anytime I ever got anything in my life, I got it basically because I wrote down what I wanted. I looked at that piece of paper of what my dreams are, what my goals are, almost daily. I had it in my brain, my subconscious mind kept on looking for it. And eventually, I'm either got it or will be getting everything that I truly want and want to make, that will make me happy. But you have to go through a lot of sometimes not so great days, bad days, and crap, and it gets you down, and sometimes you just feel miserable. But you have to go and say, you know what, today's going to be different. You're going to change it today. You have to go look at your purpose again. And when was your last real vacation? I've taken days off in the last year and a half, But because of COVID and all, when was your last real vacation? I finally had a nice one in June, taking some time off pretty soon. So without real vacations, time to reset your brain and reset your mindset. It's you always constantly have stress. I don't know about you, but you go on vacation. It takes me about now 2-3 days to unwind. So these 2 or 3 days are not necessarily just taking off 2 or 3 days is not necessarily a real vacation. I used to take 2 weeks off in a row, and I think we need to go back to that. So now, next thing is you have to maintain the energy levels, and that's my keyword for myself this year, to my energy, to increase my energy. And how do you do that? Well, it starts off with having proper sleep. We've always been told that, and drink a lot of water. And I'm gonna have some right now. That's about, you should have like half your body weight in water, in ounces, of course. And I think it's even more if we drink coffee, which I do. And so enough water, eat better, eat properly. And then there's certain other things that you do. Exercise, I mean, I do that 5-6 times a week. You need to have and if you go further down here, I talk about gratitude. And every morning I get up very early, I have my gratitude journal, 3 to 5 things I'm grateful for in my life. That alone, everyone, writing down. The key is not just saying things, but writing down what you're grateful for, and maybe journaling your day, what went right, what could be better, what you're going to improve upon. Sounds like a lot of work, maybe sounds silly to some, it sounds like a lot of work, but it only takes a few minutes, and it will change your mood instantly, because we focus as human beings tend to focus on what is not right. And we need to focus on what's going on right. And sometimes when things go really well, we don't know how it got there. And we just think it just happenstance. You put in the effort. And you believe that you have to work harder and harder to get to those, to get your goals. And that's not necessarily true. And I'm going to explain that a little bit later, how you can achieve your practice goals without actually working even harder than you are already. But you have to have a purpose in your day, and that's your daily, and then you have to your weekly, and you have to have monthly goals, and you need to write them down. And what do you want to do today? I mean, how do you what does your perfect day look like? And how are you going to make that happen? Nothing's ever perfect, but how you respond to situations and how you respond to them. And that's how you're going to make it even better. So when you respond positively, okay, that's going to make you feel better, makes the other person feel better. And how you get to that level is being grateful for what you have. And you're grateful for what you have, even when crap comes your way during the day and people ask you questions that you can't believe they're asking you, or whatever happens, you'll be able to handle it because you're feeling better inside, you have more energy, you're more positive, you're reading some good books, or listening to good books or something positive on your phone or something, daily affirmations, whatever it takes, meditation, whatever it takes to give you a positive outlook in life, and your practice will help you get through your day. And then you will have a positive feedback. And when you throw out positive energy, you get positive responses back, and that will help you reignite your passion. So what do you do for self-care? Sleep, get some sunshine, walk outside, maybe like to cook, write, draw, talk to self-talk, positive self-talk, cuddle with cats, walk, bike, clean, that's not me. Okay, read, I love to read. People love to garden. COVID, I think we missed the boat here. We need to get back to hugging and, hug people who are vaccinated, I guess. Okay, and I like this slide, and I'll tell you why. Most men would rather die than think and many do. This is all about being proactive, and even your happiness, you need to be proactive. You need to like plan your happiness, and that sounds like crazy, because everything's about planning, and planning takes time, and that's not true either. But what makes you happy? Okay, and so what, going to ball games, concerts, being with people, maybe just whatever it is, what makes you happy, and do more of that. Um, but you have to plan that, because we always plan that we have to go see our patients and work, do our notes, do this, do that. But do we plan our week on based on what makes us happy? That you put that in your planner, that I'm going to go for a walk today. I'm going to have a date night. Things that make you happy, believe it or not, need to be planned as well, and you need to think about it. So you have to like put your oxygen mask on yourself, right? You're on a plane. If the oxygen mask falls down, put your mask on first before you put on your child's mask, because you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others, before you take care of your patients, before you take care of your staff, before you take care of your kids, before you take care of your lovely spouse, your family. You have to take care of yourself, put yourself in the right mindset, and then now you are ready to help others better than ever. So during this whole time of trying to get what you want, and getting the practice that you want, getting the life that you want, you're gonna go through struggles. And we recently, all of us did, through the pandemic and whatever it is that's going on afterwards in your life. But that's how you appreciate what you have. And that's why writing things down in your gratitude journal, of what you're grateful for, because all of us have great things in our life, and you need to reinforce your brain that that's what's going on. So you're supposed to, I hate to say it, I always say, why do I have to struggle? I always say, why do I have to struggle all the time? Embrace it, embrace all the stuff that comes in your life, knowing that the really good stuff is around the corner. So when you lose your passion, you lose your mojo. And I love this. If you found, please send back with a healthy dose of butt kicking. And sometimes you need a butt kicking. And that's why I have, I don't really lone wolf it, I call it. I have coaches, my personal trainer, who if I don't show up, I'm gonna get a butt kicking. If I'm not 100% when I'm working out, I get a butt kicking. I have coaches in every aspect of my life. That's why I became a coach, to make sure that everybody gets, back on track, gets the things they want in their life, and get people realize they have the ability to get the life that they want. And that when you hang around sometimes all the negative people at our meetings, it could get really depressing, and you can lose your mojo. But sometimes you just need a nice swift kick in the butt. Now, this is a problem with most of us, and perfection is the enemy of profitability. This is so true. We are all doctors, surgeons, and there's no such thing in surgery as, that's good enough. Now, I'll tell you, I did my fellowship in Israel at Hadassah Medical Center in Jerusalem, after my residency in Queens. And the attending there would always joke around after surgery, because, socialized medicine, say, this is good enough for government work. And as a resident, I'm saying to myself, it can't be just good enough. It has to be like with surgery. Surgery has to be perfect. And that's how we are trained. We're trained to be perfect. But in real life, if you want to move faster, if you want to get more, of something, or less, or more time, more money, if you want that, you can't wait till things are perfect, because perfect is a lie. There's no such thing. Oh, when I have more money, I'll buy the laser. Well, you need the laser to give people what they want, and that is be pain-free without surgery and you'll know that they're willing to pay for that. But so in order to get them more money, you have to find ways to get the laser. And that's just an example. That's you will find so many examples throughout your day and throughout your life that when this happens, then I'll do that. And that's not the question to ask. The question to ask is, how do I get to do this, whatever that is, now? Okay, while I don't have these resources, but how do I get these resources? And your brain will figure out, your subconscious mind will figure out what you want by asking a better question. So be careful about being perfect, like doing a TikTok, like doing a video about who you are, about your practice for your website. It has to be perfect. I have to have the right clothing, I have to have the right haircut, perfect makeup. The lighting has to be fantastic. The background has to be great. When I'm going to rent out a nice room that's looks beautiful, so the surroundings look great. Just get your little camera out there. That's fantastic, and start taping. Okay, you'll get better only by doing. Okay, so if you don't like doing something, guess what? Just don't do it. In my practice, my staff have been trained. Never come to me with a problem. If you have a problem, come to me with the problem and your solution. One that empowers your staff, gets them to think and not always rely on you. And that's why you're also drained, because you're the person who always has to give the answer to everything. No, you want them to think and make decisions. They just don't want to make mistakes. And the only way they won't make mistakes is if you allow them, say it's okay to make a mistake. Come to me with this solution. And most likely I'll say, go ahead, do it that way. It sounds fantastic. Great job. I like that idea. Okay. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just find a new solution. But I'm going to show you some ideas, some problems that we have, and tell you, like, there's a lot of things we don't like to do. And I'm just telling you, just don't do. Okay. And the first thing is, can't get my notes done. Well, I mean, don't do it. Peter, he said, just don't, I don't like doing, just don't do it. Okay. You can't get your notes done. The other problems are not getting paid or getting paid enough, getting paid on time, or any of that stuff, and not having enough staff. Most of the time, it's really, I don't have, again, here's another thing. I don't have enough money to hire other staff. I don't have enough patients. So why do I need more staff? So we're going to touch those things. So you can't get your notes done. What's the solution? The answer is basically get a scribe. Okay. So I do a few things for this. One is, and I've been resistant and to do this, not because of money, not because I don't want to hire another person, because I have to train this person also and do it properly. But that's part of the reason. The other is that I actually, just want to make sure. Oh, my cord is coming. There you go. Just, yeah, here you go. My cord is coming loose. Don't want to lose the battery here. Okay, so I know how to type. So I could look at the patient and type and click and whatever. And I thought, well, I mean, it has not been a problem. But then I had to come up with a solution to the fact that I was going to work less days in one office than the other office, and how I can see more patients and the same number of patients I see in that office, even with less days. And the answer was always right in front of me, and that is to have a scribe and have another medical assistant. And this is a company called Great Scribes Network, and I can hook you up with that company who will find a scribe, also one who can be a medical assistant, train them, and then they start with you. They already know all the anatomy once they get trained, which is a big thing. I will tell you that I was able to normally see about 90, 100 patients in 3 days. I could see that now in 2 days without feeling tired, as I have the people around me. And then my per visit revenue went up as well. But the problem with this, the biggest problem that people have when getting scribes and doing their notes for you, is that no one can do it like me. Everybody, you know what? They have to be perfect again. to make sure I get paid. I don't get audited. It has to be, no one can do it like me. But guess what happens? You still run behind and you have like 50, 100, 200 notes behind. And when now you're playing catch up, guess what? You got to catch up, so your performance in each note is less than optimal. It's just worse than if you had someone else do it. Now, the way you handle that, having the notes that you want, is that you're actually verbally in front of the patient, yes, in front of the patient, telling the scribe your findings. And so it's just like you doing the note, but they're doing it. And they could probably do it better than you, and they'll do it just the way you want. And you should just review those notes. After a while, you learn some trust, and they do a great job. And you can just then audit your own charts, like, maybe 10, 15 every single week, and make sure they're just the way they're supposed to be. But again, if you don't like doing it, don't. Okay. And I'm going to explain to you how having a scribe, another staff member, when most people don't have enough people in their office and they don't realize it, will make you more money. There you go. So 2 things I do here. One is Great Scribes Network. And the other thing I purchase is called Speak Easy, and it's uses Dragon medical dictation. And Speak Easy, you can speak with a person named Jeff Frederick, and it is wonderful because it has the perfect LCD terminology for everything that you need. So you get audited, and you get audited for orthotics, and you don't have the term UCBL in your description of what kind of orthotic you're having. It's that simple thing that the company can't ask you to get the money back. So you need to have the perfect LCD terminology. And before Speakeasy, you'd be like, oh, a patient was dispensed, a nice splint. Okay, it was in good condition, and patient was educated on how to use it. Okay, that's not LCD terminology. Now, Speakeasy, all I have to say is insert plan night splint, and this huge paragraph pops up. Okay, it's like, it reminds me of when I was in school, and you had to write a book report, and you double spaced it, and you made it really long, and longer than the number of words. It just made it like 5, 6, 8, 10 pages long. And the teacher never read it and said, oh, this must be good stuff, because you thought the length of the paper, you automatically got an A. The same thing here. It's really a long note for just a nice splint, but it will keep you safe. And to me, it's worth every single penny. So between that, my scribe, my notes are pretty looking pretty clean. Okay. So now here's the next problem: not getting paid. Now, why is that? Now, the doctors, are entering their charges at the time of service. You might have an outside biller, you might have a in the office biller like I do. But either way, if you enter your charges, in order to get paid, you need to enter your charges immediately. People say, I don't enter my charges till my notes are done. And I never understood that. And a few people told me because they feel that if they don't enter the charges, if the notes are not done, it will motivate them to get their notes done. And it doesn't. If 30 days go by without submitting a claim, now you're only down to 2 more months to make sure you get paid, or sent out the claim, because if it's not out there in 90 days, they're not going to pay you. Get your charges out, put them in the system before that patient has their shoes and socks on. And if it's for summertime, they have sandals, you tell them just to wait. You could chit chat, put those charges in. If you have a super bill and you need to circle them, okay, circle them. I don't know how you get it out to your biller, but just get it out and make sure they are clean and they get sent out the very, very next day. Coding is so important. And as podiatrists, I feel that we have all the resources to become really good coders for our own services, better than most physicians with the APMA and Jeff Learman. We have ways to get educated, and it's Michael King as well, who's very educated on this service. Coding is really, really important, and you make sure your claims go out cleanly. You should know your modifiers. It's just important aspect. And if you are basically getting frustrated because they're not getting paid, you're business owners. You need to know every aspect of your business. Don't need to do everything, but you need to know about it. Okay. And there's weekly and monthly reports that you should be running. Your accounts receivable monthly, and making sure you're meeting with the financial staff in-house, or the biller through Zoom or a phone call. How's it going? What's going on? Let me have my AR monthly reports. Ask them questions. They work for you. You don't work for them. So make sure you're getting paid. Run a weekly open items report. Make sure everything that every patient you saw is getting sent a claim out to the insurance company. Make sure there's nothing open. Your total collections and charges. Every day I know my collections and charges every single day. Because if your charges is going up but your collections are not, there's something wrong there. Another thing we do, which I do in-house, it's easier to do it in-house, is that we don't have billers, we have collectors. And the only way you can collect is send out clean claims, collect all the money up front with the patients are already there, knowing their benefits prior to their coming in, having benefit people. I have 2 students who verify, actually 3, 2.5 students. They verify all the new patients benefits, and anybody who's not been in the office more than a year, they verify those benefits. We also know how many pairs of orthotics they're allowed to get. We know there's a separate deductible for DME. These are things you need in order to provide your services that day, get paid that day, and not wait for your money. So the number of calls are basically the number of calls my staff makes to insurance companies for outstanding claims and to patients. And I know when we make 100 calls total for the week for the insurance companies, and the same for patients, we really don't have that many for patients, but definitely for the insurance companies, my money will be coming in. You have to, it's just not send out a claim and 30 days later send out another claim. It's too long. Okay, you provide a service, I want to get paid. I want to get paid as quickly as possible. And that by getting paid and getting money, by working, by getting a when you work and then you get paid for what you do, you feel better. It will ignite your passion. We don't have that passion because you're working and not getting paid and paying and have to pay bills that we don't have money to pay with. So ignite that passion by making sure you get paid and get rewarded for what you do. You are helping lots and lots of people. You deserve, okay, to get paid. So getting paid also, your per visit revenue, what is it? Okay, how do you increase your per visit revenue? And we're going to go over that in a second. But your treatment protocols, do you have treatment protocols? Do you know, like when a patient comes in for for plantar fasciitis, what do you do? What do you do on the first visit, second visit, third visit, fourth visit? It's important to be consistent. It's important to provide the services to get patients better quickly. When you think you're providing helping patients by not providing all these services all at once, what you're doing is you're trying to help the patients what you think helps the patients. Most of the time, patients want to get better in a couple of visits. They don't want to keep on coming back. Their lives are busy. They don't want to keep on paying $50 co-pays. They have high deductibles. They want to get better. So if you can get them better, faster, they will refer more patients. Okay, you don't need to drag out there, it has to be 5, 6, 7, 8 visits per every single plantar fasciitis. Give them that injection, strap them up, make them those orthotics. get them the stretching splint, whatever it is they need, give it to them on that service, and getting better quickly. Verifying benefits, like I just mentioned, is so important. You know, working for no pay, it's not good. It's just not good. You'll get burned out really, really fast. Okay, so every single time that I have a problem that I'm not sure where to solve, or where the number one problem is, you might have a bunch of things that are bothering you, but there's usually one or two things that if you handle, you can fix everything else. I go through my organization board, and this is basically an organization board. Every company has an organization board. They have 6, 7 departments, and this is how you know what the job description is for each position, what you're looking for when you hire someone. And when you think about when you're opening up your doors, the first thing you need to talk about is marketing. You got to get patients. You got to get those phones ringing, get the patients through into the office and getting them better. And so it starts off with marketing. As Rem Jackson for Top Practices, and by the way, I'm a consultant with Top Practices. They're the 4 pillars, which is internal marketing, external marketing, shoe leather. Shoe leather is going out and visiting your referral sources. And then there's the web-based marketing as well. And by, again, dividing it into different sections, you can decide what you need to work on this week. Again, if you're not marketing, or if there's a lot of marketing ideas you have, and this is how I came up with having a marketing person in my office way back in the 90s. Okay, probably one of the first docs to have a in-house marketing person, because I knew if I can do X, Y, and Z, if I could educate the patients with newsletters and mail at the time, they're more likely to keep their appointments, they're more likely to refer other people, and my office will explode. So again, I didn't worry about, hey, I didn't have the money for a marketing person. I thought about the return on investment, and it paid tremendous dividends, where we have actually 2 people now. So you have the marketing, and the people come into the office, and they come in the office, it's like having a party. You invited all your friends and family to this party, and they're all coming, but the place is dirty. You don't have good food. There's no entertainment. What is the chance that they will come back to the next party? They'll like RSVP, say, yeah, I can't wait for the next party. They're not. So you need to have tremendous customer service. You have to train your staff how to be amazing, and get them really trained as well. Then you're able to produce, and production requires a team, you and medical assistants, and protocols to get them better quickly. You have to have good collection processes. When things are not going well, you, doctor, owner, handle quality control, making sure people are happy, as well as your notes are clean and your office is safe from OSHA, HIPAA, and every single other agency or association. But really, in order to get the practice that you so deserve, okay, and that you so desire, you need to become a better leader of people, because you cannot run a business without people. And the better leader you become, the better you can teach others to lead, and that will set you free. That's where freedom comes. That one word, leadership. Freedom comes from leadership. Okay, so the systems you have that you need to put in place. Benefit of systems is to have consistency. It's a training tool to help you increase revenue. It's a foundation for process improvement. You have performance measures. You can see if you have systems, you could know if someone's following the systems or not by just knowing your numbers, providing great customer service, getting everyone on the same page. Everyone knows what each other person is doing, and they work together as a team. And then the goal here is to keep the processes simple, which makes training easier and makes them easier to follow. So to make your practice exciting again, first we said it started with you getting more energy, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind. Next, it starts with putting more money in your pocket. We talk about the finances. Working without gaining freedom is like slavery. make sure you're getting paid for what you're doing. We talk about not doing things you don't like to do, okay, and always finding solutions. So let's talk about the key numbers here. We talked about how you can increase your income, which increase your passion without you working any harder. You have to look at two numbers. That's your per visit revenue and the dollars per hour, okay? You want to you can work less hours, but make more money per hour, okay? So like I said to you, I hired a scribe. I hired another medical assistant in order to see more patients. And let's say your present per visit revenue is $120. And that's the average, that's a little above average than in the country. And let's say you see 25 patients per day, you are collecting $3,000 per day. You hire now 2 full-time staff, you scribe, your medical assistant. At $16 an hour, let's say you have your 2 staff people, 8 hours in a day, that comes out to paying, okay, salaries of $256 extra, but there's taxes and everything. So I made it $340, okay? And using the New Jersey formula is $340. Maybe it's cheaper in New Hampshire, okay? Allowing you to increase your per visit revenue to $160 because now you have more staff. They can do more things. If you're doing things like removing casts, putting casts on, removing sutures, changing bandages, doing x-rays, okay? Doing a lot of things that you should not be doing. You can make a list of all things you can teach someone to do by having these people do it and by not staying late to do your notes and not feeling exhausted at the end of the day and then too tired to do your notes. You'll be able to increase your PVR of these people to $160 and making now 30 patients a day, which is now bringing in $4,800, which is now a net of $1,460. Okay. Now, if you do that 4 days a week, the 2 weeks vacation, because I'm giving you 2 weeks here, you will actually increase your revenue close to $300,000 a year. Anytime you need to make a decision about should I buy this thing, should I add more people, what is your return on investment? And you need to figure that out, because I love it when companies say, oh, get this machine, get this whatever. All you need is one more patient a month. You need just one patient a month to do this, use this machine. Okay, there's one more patient. Okay, well, the question is, do you have the patients that need this service? Like when PadNet was out there and doing all the circulatory testing, I had a survey with my patients, and the answer was, I don't have the patient base that requires this service, because I see a lot of neuropathy, but I don't see a lot of circulatory issues. Okay, so yeah, so just don't buy it because you're just looking for that one person, and then you're forced to use the machine, or you don't use it at all, and it's buried in a corner. Okay, now people, I will tell you, there's so many things, and you can make a list right now of all the things that from all the seminars you attended or will attend that you're going to learn about the things you could be doing to increase your revenue. So that's great, but the end thing you say to yourself, I can't do that. I don't have the space, and I don't have enough team members. You can get enough players, you get enough team members. The space, if you're running out it's a capacity issue regarding space. Get an architect into the practice, see if you can add an extra treatment room. And if you can, great. I had to suffer for about a couple of years while they're building my new building years ago to have the increased space. It was on boxes. I was walking around like boxes all over the place every single day. It was crazy. But you do what you have to do. If you have to get a storage unit to put things in, just to have more space while you're looking for another office, then do so. But don't just wait. Just continue to grow and build, because things change all the time. If you don't change with the times, guess what? You're going to fall behind. And so the ways to increase your per visit revenue, one thing we do a lot of in my office is amniotic injections. They're just fantastic. I've been using a lot now for hallux limitus, on partial tendon tears, of course, plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendinosis, helping a lot of people with this. And when people come who have had every treatment known to mankind, and you have this, they will pay. And knowing who the patient is out there that wants to pay for this is how you market this. You know, have you tried all these things, everybody? And if you have, and you're still in pain, you know, Dr. So-and-so has the answer. Okay, I have the answer. That's how you do a video. I have the answer for you. And it's virtually painless. It takes 2 minutes and you'll get better without any kind of surgery. Fat fillers, Leneva, Leneva. It's not just for cosmetic purposes. A couple patients already, painful scars on the ball of their feet, okay, from previous surgery, severe painful IPKs, little pre-ulcerative HDs on the hammer toes. You could add a little fat to that, give them a little more padding, elastic about a year. They don't want the surgery. They had, and you also give them orthotics, but they have the orthotics or had the orthotics, and it helps a little bit. 2 people in particular that I did this on actually cried. A week later, they're able to walk again without pain. So it is another great, you can make about another $750,000 per patient on this. Your lasers for pain, lasers for nail fungus. It's about the ability to be confident in these products and be able to tell patients the advantages of these products, and you'll have patients who will take care of this and pay for this. DME, durable medical equipment. If you're not doing it because you're afraid of regulations, learn the regulations, learn what to put in your notes, okay, and start using it properly. Are you asking your patients about getting a second pair of orthotics for their dress shoes or for whatever? Do you know if the benefits will pay for a second pair of orthotics, and what are the criteria for a second pair of orthotics? I'll find that out, because you're missing the boat on this. It's another great way to help your patients. There's Swift, the company Swift for Veruca, that can help take care of that situation. A lot of people love this new technology for painful warts. And the old-fashioned exam, taking the time when you have more people working for you who are well-trained, you have time to look at that foot and say, what about that bunion, Mrs. Jones? Does that hurt you? It seems a little red. Should we get an x-ray on it? Should we see what we can do to help prevent it from getting worse? Because everybody thinks it's surgery that's involved. Okay. Again, we talked about some marketing. I talk about production and getting PVR up there, and collections. So let's talk about training properly. Excuse me. If you have people that you're hiring, another thing is that you don't want to hire because now you have to train them. You only have to train 1 MA, 1 front desk person, and maybe 1 financial person. Excuse me. And that is, once you train them and you find that they're doing the job really, really well, they will train the next MA, the next financial person, the next front desk person. So when you're starting out, make sure you train these people properly. You spend the time. If you don't have the time, if you're like looking for a new person and you have to train that person, first of all, never train anyone live, meaning don't train while you have seeing patients. It's not going to be done properly. I once was on a line of going through, I think, a conference in a hotel. There's a hotel line to check in. The person at the front desk said, "Excuse me, we're just training Marianne here, so please be patient." I'm thinking, you train Marianne in the back, get that computer going, train Marianne in the back. And then when Marianne knows the processes, then Marianne can be the co-pilot, you're the pilot, and then eventually you switch places. So that's what you need to do. And I've done this. A course of days, like 2 days, just for training purposes, or hours in a day, or have them come in on a Saturday and pay them time and a half and get them lunch, whatever it is. Properly trained people will prevent you from being frustrated and going home going, I can't believe this happened today. Okay. It will then empower them to do their job properly and give you the freedom. I said, leadership is freedom. You have to lead them. You have to train them. You have to like give them the opportunity to be the best staff person you ever had. So just take that time. It's the return on investment. You're crossing off 2 days. And like I just said, your profit, it's like, let's say you make the $4,800 per day. You'll make 3 times that if you have a trained staff person. So train properly. So have an employee manual, have processes written down, know what every single employee needs to know when they come in. Okay, and once they're trained or they think you're ready to do their job, give them a test. Okay, demonstrate to me, Mary, how you answer the phone, how you book a new patient. Demonstrate when a patient asks you, do you take this insurance? How do you answer that question? And then periodically, every couple of months, retrain them because they're going to go back to old habits. That's your training process. So you want to hire someone really, really good. You want to train them and retrain them. Companies, give me a second here. Companies that grow people, grow profits. Companies that shrink people, shrink profits. Tom Conlon, who is the one of the VPs of in the Magic Kingdom there in Disney. So Inside the Magic Kingdom is a great book. So you don't want to, when people are not trained, you get frustrated, you say things or you act a certain way in front of them. You're shrinking them and you're shrinking your profits. Train them properly. Okay, and now let's talk about leadership. Leadership is so huge to the growth of the practice and to give you the freedom. Everybody has to practice and scrimmage. Leaders need to be coaches. Just think about if you ever played a sport, you're basically a coach who empower their team to take control. Control means giving the person knowledge and confidence, which will lead to responsibility. You play like you practice. So when you're practicing and you're role playing, we hate role playing, but role playing is really the best way to know someone knows their job and to give them the confidence. The new hire also needs to know what you expect to provide unbelievable customer service. To me, in today's times, you go to any other doctor out there, but they will come to you and keep on coming to you with great customer service, getting them in the room on time, having staff that are fantastic on the phone. And just think about the best server you ever had in a restaurant or the best, salesperson when you went to Nordstrom's to buy a pair of shoes or something. What made them so great? And get your staff to do the same. Make sure they greet and welcome every person who walks in the door. And maybe fist bumping out, I don't know, depending where you are. I'm back to handshaking. Okay. Wear my mask, handshake, and wash my hands really, really well. Because and I ask permission, of course, but it's that little touch that just makes a difference. So be so nice to the patients that they won't even believe it. They'll talk about you. My goal is to make the patients happy, and that is the only policy I have in my practice. Do whatever it takes to make the patients happy, as long as it's legal and ethical. Great leaders create and communicate a vision that's acted upon. Know where you are and know where you want to go. Communicate that. Don't be afraid to tell your staff, like, this is where I could see the practice. This is what we're making. This is what we want to make. Why? Because first of all, why you want to tell everybody? Because I know you're afraid to tell everyone because they'll think that you're so rich and they keep on asking you for raises. They don't think that. You think that. And some people might think that, but the overall person doesn't. They understand where the money's going. But because if you hide things from people, they're going to make up their own stories, and the stories that you can't believe that will make up. So you gotta communicate with your staff what's going on in the practice and where you're headed. The new age entrepreneur is a coach who leads, but not managers. So the thing with the word manager, and there's nothing wrong with office managers, it's the term that I don't like, and that is because you manage things. We don't want to manage things. I have a practice administrator leader, someone who leads others to get better, not just to watch over them and look over their shoulders and tell them what they're doing wrong. You want to tell them what they're doing right and empower them, make them feel really, really good about themselves and what they're doing, what they're accomplishing. They're part of the team. And as a part of the team, they want to feel that your growth is also due to their actions. Even managers should not be managers. They need to be coaches. You need to coach them. The major difference between leaders and coaches lies in the activities and actions. Leaders who do not coach are not proactive. They hire good people and let them go. That's something, oh, you're great, just go. But what do you expect of them? How do you know if they're doing a good job? What is the end result of them doing a good job? And coach them to getting the results that you want them to have for them and for the organization. Leaders or coaches get involved and lead the team to achieve the goals of the organization. Coaches do not micromanage. Managers, the term micromanage, especially small managers. A coach is a teacher, and you and the staff that are doing the training need to become an amazing teacher with great patience. Coaches really, really care about their players and about their team. This is Napoleon Hill. Hopefully you know who he is. The thinking book, the greatest book of all time, probably Think and Grow Rich. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. It is hard sometimes when things are not going well, but yeah, and you don't know why things happen at the moment, but there's a reason. I truly believe there's a reason for everything. And you just don't know the reason at the moment. So you just have to keep on fighting through it. Just like our Olympians this past Olympics, people failed and they get back up. They lose a race by 0.001 second. It's like there's a whole Jerry Seinfeld skit about the Olympics. It's okay coming third. You got a bronze medal, great. You're in the gold. Everybody knows your name. You get a silver. It's like, and you lose by 0.01 something. It's really a heartache, and it's like no one even knows who you are, and you're the second best. But you know what? They keep on trying. They keep on working at it, and just pushing through. Eventually, win that gold. That's what you have to do as well. Patient volume. New patients should be 20% of your total patients, at least 20%. Dollars per hour. How much money making per hour? It shows the efficiency of the practice. That's what that tells you. It shows you that, are you spending all day long seeing routine care patients, post-op patients, and not making that much money? And you can do a better job, have more time and more money. To increase that, you need better utilization of people, modalities, ancillary services, more rooms being used, and improve your scheduling. Now, if you need something like a laser or whatever it is, another staff member, you pay for it, whether you buy it or not. You pay it in sometimes in your lack, just your lack of passion. You pay for it in just you being more tired and being burnt out. You pay for it in the sense that, like I said, you're working harder for less money. So if you need something that's like going to bring you more revenue and help more people, then you need to find a ways to get that service or get that person. Again, thank you so much for this time. Sorry I could not be with you live. Let me just, okay. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I don't know if I'm, okay, there you go. I am the author of the book, The Podiatry Practice Business Solution. I am a coach. I run a program, all the time on just helping people and helping doctors make more money, work less, and get the practice of their dreams. Thank you so much. Any questions? Peter@toppractices.com. Appreciate you and appreciate you, TaylorMade. Thank you again.